Hi, and welcome to Almost 2024. I'm
Crazy.
Mariah Kaufman.
I am Jen McNamara with Mariah and Jen at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services in Michigan.
We did this last year and it was so well received. And so we wanted to do this again because I think it's just really good information. Everyone wants to know what's happening with the market. Everyone's interested in real estate. And then we'll end with some really fun, just like trends and things happening in 24.
Sounds great.
All righty.
Here we go.
Well, let's start with the market and the economy overall in regards to the housing market and real estate. So I try to follow all of the national sources and some of the local stuff as too, to really make sure that we've got a pulse on the market and so that we can really educate our buyers and sellers. So NAR actually did the real estate forecast summit last week as we get close to the end of the year. And it just happened to be the day that the rates came down too. So there was a lot to talk about. This is all national and public data. So if you'd like a link or any more resources, this is all online. But I wanted to share some of the slides that I thought were important just from a much larger standpoint. So when we look at just real estate in general over the last year, it was a slow year for real estate. We're not going to sugarcoat it. The people just didn't move this year coming out of COVID. Interest rates grew with inflation as the economy kind of takes that tick up. But with that also came an 18% decline this year in overall home sales, which was actually the worst year since 2008. So it was a little rough for some of our realtor friends. Jen and I still had a great year. We're so thankful to all of our friends and family and clients that trust in us as your realtors, even when the market isn't hot, right? So, but here's the thing, people still need to buy and sell every year.
Every day.
Babies, deaths, new jobs, just for fun, whatever. There's always some reason to move. But the flip side of this is we do believe that there's going to be an increase in home sales compared to 23 and 2024. Now, part of that is from new home sales construction. New home sales and construction really kind of hit a wall during COVID and during the COVID crisis. And a lot of that had to do with supply chain issues, which many industries were dealing with across the world. Those have really eased, those supply chain issues. And because of that, we're seeing construction is actually able to create more houses at the rate that they were expecting. But it's still not enough. We still just don't have inventory. That said, we do believe that new sales are going to be up about 19% next year. Now, again, this is a national look, right? And then existing home sales are going to be up about 13%.
We'll talk a bit more about that with new construction at the end too.
Yeah. And then everyone wants to talk about this. Everyone wants to ask about it. Everyone wishes they had the crystal ball when it comes to interest rates, right? So this is interest 30-year mortgages over the last several years here, right? So we were all used to in 2020 this incredibly low interest rate. This is not sustainable for any market, right? So it was fantastic for those of you that bought at 3.5%, 4%, maybe refied on a 15 at 2.5 over the pandemic years. Fantastic, right? But it wasn't sustainable. And as inflation has continued to rise, so did our interest rates. Now we are starting to see the cool down. So inflation has come down consecutively over the last couple of months here. And with that, the Fed has made the statement that it looks like they're going to hold and not raise over the next couple of months, most of 2024. And because of that, we've seen the 30-year interest rates fall. Last week, we were seeing about a 6.5 on a 30-year. Now, every lender is going to have different promotions and different interest rates. And there's a lot that goes into that, but in general, around a 6.5, which is really exciting. So we are seeing rates come down. And as such, I think this year's going to be insane again because we were just waiting for that.
Exactly. And we're coming into an election year. So It'll be interesting.
And this is just a slide, a compilation from Forbes, but many others of just prediction across many resources and guides of what they think is going to happen with interest rates, mortgage interest rates over the next year. And everyone believes that they're going to come down is basically what all of these sources say. So I I would say based off of everything that I'm hearing, I think that in 2024, now interest rates fluctuate every day, right? So they do this every day, but for the most part, I think you'll probably be seeing interest rates sit in those mid sixes throughout 2024 and really stabilize, which will be great for everyone involved. I wanted to touch on this slide because I think it's so important. And if we do have any renters watching, look at this, like wealth comparison between owners and renters in the United States. This is just a really clear stat. And if you follow Dave Ramsey or any financial advisors, they're always going to recommend that you buy, especially because of the amount of equity that has been growing in real estate in the United States over the last several decades, right? So, and that really comes to play in this map. So home price appreciation since COVID's arrival. So the percent change from 2020 Q1 to 2023 Q3. Look at Michigan.
It's crazy. Look at
44%. Yeah. So if you've bought in the last, I would say like 10 years, really, your equity has just considerably grown. And because of that, it's still better, in our opinion, to own compared to rent. We are starting to see rent, just a side note, nationally, and I think here in this region is what we're starting to see rental rates just kind of come down a little bit as well, but that's a different point altogether. So congratulations to anyone that's owned real estate in the United States in the last decade here.
Impressive.
I did want to touch on just Grand Rapids and the West Michigan area in general in regards to cost of living. So this is one of the things that I continue to talk about, especially with people that are moving into our market from out of state. This is always kind of like a wow factor, right? So you look at similar sized markets and our cost of living index is considerably lower. So the national average is about 100 and Grand Rapids is sitting almost at that 92%. So Grand Rapids is a great place to live. Housing, while it's grown in equity and for first timers, especially in certain price points, it can still be pretty hard to buy. And that hasn't changed significantly over the last couple of years. But in regards to general affordability, it's still considerably lower than a national average. And so that's what adds to the exciting piece of living in Grand Rapids.
Absolutely.
But when we look, I went the wrong way. Sorry, guys. When we look at local West Michigan data, we still have very little inventory. So this is the average months of inventory on hand. And if we're looking at November of 2023, so this last month, we don't have December data in yet, but we have 1 month of inventory on hand. What that means is, if you were to take all of the inventory in the market, it would only take us a month to sell it. A very balanced market is somewhere around 3 to 4 months. And so you can see that here, right? During 2006, all the way up to really 2010, this is the flip side of it. So this is what a seller's market looks like: low inventory, high demand. This is what a buyer's market looks like: high inventory, low demand, right? So it's just a really interesting flip in our market. But for those of you that have been waiting for the market to tank in regards to the housing market here in West Michigan, I have predicted for years and we continue to share, sorry, don't see that happening anytime soon, but that's a good thing. And with that, we really look at the year-to-year or year-over-year closed sales here specifically in West Michigan. And this really follows with the trend of what I just showed you from a national perspective. So in regards to the number of units, we're down about 15% year over year. And then in regards to the amount of volume, down about 11%. So that the national stat was a little bit higher, but yes, sales came down this year. I do predict that we're going to actually see, and so does NAR, an uptick in the number of sales here in West Michigan based on a couple of factors. One, interest rates are coming down, so is inflation. And then also with that, we have a really strong and healthy and wonderful market. And part of that is because of the diversity of all of the different industries that have really grown in this market. So lots of good things happening here in West Michigan. In fact, Realtor.com still has us on their top 10. We came down a couple slots from last year. Yeah, but we're still there. Top 10 housing markets for 2024. so this is absolutely fantastic. I love, like, the Toledo, Ohio one is interesting to me. I've really been watching the Midwest, and it's been interesting to see some of these these markets in the Midwest really start to grow. But they do expect that we are going to have a, a really hot market this year. So just a very quick snip peek. Sorry, guys, it's a Monday sneak peek at the market, and what we're thinking for 2024.
So to some fun stuff here quick.
Jen's stuff's more fun than my
I
stuff.
know, she gets all the hard stuff and I get the fun things here. So couple different things with home decor trends. Every year they put out all these different design ideas, and from year to year, there's some big changes,
Yeah.
but a couple of the highlight ones that
I'm
I
just
thought were
so glad
fun.
I'm not seeing gray.
Yeah, well, the gray is
Gray is
officially kind
gone.
of out.
Please,
It's
no
all
more gray.
about like the warm
Yep.
neutrals, very much warm neutrals, earth tones, which I've highlighted there. I love the sculptural furniture.
Mhm.
I think that's one of those design trends that's kind of a Scandinavian type thing, but it continues to be popular and is going to be even more so. The couple different things, the fluted wall paneling, I kind of like that. Anytime you can bring in like
Yep.
the earthy and like wood and different textures, it's always typically a positive thing. Color of the year, Blue Nova, and that one's from Benjamin Moore. There's multiple colors of the years from all these
Yep.
different manufacturers, but a lot of them are in the blue tones. So many of them. I just thought this one was really pretty, so I liked that one the most. And
Am I seeing peachy too? I saw
there
some
was a
peachy or
peach
yeah.
thing, which yeah, that's my own
Jen doesn't
personal-
like the peach. Jen likes the
I-
blue.
I
That's why
opted
Jen
for
likes the blue.
Peach is really one of those tricky colors that you really need to have like everything else working for you. But those are some great things. And then to move us forward, one more. And then we also wanted to just highlight some of the new construction. I know Mariah mentioned it early on. We do have some fantastic builders in the West Michigan area. Just to name a few, we've got Eagle Creek Homes, Eastbrook, Allen Edwin. All three of these builders build throughout West Michigan. So they have multiple neighborhoods, some more north in the Rockford area and that type. A lot are Jamestown and Byron Center, where there's land and they're developing that. It's pretty amazing. But beautiful homes. If you are interested in new construction, by all means, please reach out to us. We will coordinate getting you in to actually see the homes. There's a lot of information and a lot to consider when it comes to new home construction. And Mariah and I have both done a great deal in that market. So happy to help you if that's something you're interested in. So
not all new homes are created equal.
that is very, very true. So we want to wish you a very happy holiday and happy new year 2024. Yeah. Please let us know how we can help with any of your real estate dreams and making them a reality. So
happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.